Hey everyone, Coops here from the Whole Box and Dice. This is going to be the first video in the CreaYTors series that I'm participating in. We're going to be doing Ixalan drafting today, and I've been assigned the black-white archetype. Pretty excited when I got black-white because it means we get to talk about vampires, but there's also a lot of good black and white cards in Ixalan. I think it's actually probably one of the strongest colors. In terms of if you're ranking all the cards, I think you'd find black-white among certainly a lot of the top kind of 30, maybe even 50 cards. I think they have a very good representation in Limited. Sadly, that probably doesn't carry over to Constructed as much, although we did see some stuff like Esper Gifts and Blue-Black Control, so there are elements of the black in the standard meta at the moment, but drafting-wise, if you can pull off that vampire deck, it is a lot of fun to play. It's a fast deck, it's very hard hitting, but I'm going to jump out from behind the camera and get on the microphone, so we're going to go through some of the best cards, some cards to look for, some signals when you are drafting black-white. I'm certainly going to look at kind of the decks that you build if black-white is the color that you're going down, the decks that it has good matches up against, good matchups, as well as the decks that it has a little bit of trouble with. So it's going to be hopefully an informative and educational experience. Let me know in the comments, how have you gone drafting black-white? Is it a deck that you found success with? There's some key cards that I missed out on. Would love to get your thoughts. Was really hoping to get blue-green, actually. Love to be able to do some Merfolk videos, but black-white is a very, very fun draft combination. Probably my second favorite in Ixalan. I would have thought it was going to be dinosaurs going into Ixalan, but I really enjoyed Vona and the Vampire Army. Let's jump straight into it. I've really enjoyed black-white in Ixalan. I was pretty pumped when I got this color. Certainly Merfolk are my favorite color combo and tribe to draft, but I've really enjoyed black-white, and we'll give you a bit of a top-line, big-picture stuff. You've got 89 cards you have access to in black-white. You've got 3 reprints, just certainly being the most well-known of them, but Mark of the Vampire is probably the most important for us. You get 5 mythics, which is a really nice number, as well as 19 rares. Tribal-wise, obviously vampires are going to be the most obvious, and that's the deck that we're going to be focusing on a lot in this video. But you do get pirates, humans, and dinosaurs falling into those 2 colors. And to be honest, the best, both either mid-range or mid-range or aggro deck for black-white vampires has some kind of support from pirates, humans, and dinosaurs. I don't think there really is a competitive or consistent black-white control deck when you are drafting Ixalan. It's pretty hard to draft control anyway, and even though you get some great removal, I think there's a clear black-white mid-range and aggro deck that's best sticking to. Keywords-wise, Flying and Lifelink are the 2 that you're going to be looking out for. No surprise there, given that we're in vampires, and you do get to dabble a bit into the raid and explore mechanics in these 2 colors. So that's kind of the big, like I said, the big picture, top line kind of overview of black-white. I want to jump into some of the keywords now so you can take a look at some of the cards that if you're lucky enough to open in your first pack or you get passed around to you in the first part of drafting, will really help you get into black-white and some of the cards it's probably worth forcing black-white from your opening pack, or at least to see if you can build a deck and see what other cards get passed around to you. So black-white, pick one, pack one, plus the key cards. Well, we're going to do the 5 best in this color pie, and I think Vona is a great place to start off with. 5 mana 4/4 with 2 super relevant keywords and that excellent removal ability. Vraska's Contempt, unconditional removal for 4 at instant speed, and the ability to get a bit of extra life is great. I think Kinjali's Sunwing is a very underrated creature in this format. 3 mana 2/3 that flies is great, and creatures your opponents control enter tapped. This is super relevant if we are playing that aggro vampire deck, because it makes it very difficult for our opponents to get on board and makes the race a lot easier for us. Sanctum Seeker is a huge card, and the ability to get multiple drain and gain triggers is great, and a 4 mana 3/4 is still pretty relevant for us as well. And Maverick Fiend, the Dusk Apostle, this is going to be the last of the... I feel like you just have to pick this card over anything if you are playing or planning to play black-white, and certainly this and Sanctum Seeker narrows you into vampires a lot more, but that, as we said, was the strongest tribe in black-white. A 3 mana 2/2 that pumps out more tokens is just absolutely insane value, and they're, like I said, they're the cards that you really want to look for in terms of key cards in black-white, and they're the ones that you want to be picking first. But how do you fill out the rest of your deck? What are the other cards that you're looking for to really make sure that that vampires deck is a winner for you, or that black-white deck is going to be a winner for you? So we already saw that you can get a lot of value out of something like a Kinjali Sunwing, but I think cards like Imperial Aerosaur and the Territorial Hammerskull are great other support dinosaurs that you could run in a black-white deck. I love that the Aerosaur gives evasion and a little boost on the turn it comes in. I think the Hammerskull is great, especially taking something out of combat each time it swings is very, very annoying. Pirate's Cutlass and Mark of the Vampire, I think these are two very important cards for the Vampire and the black-white deck as well. Just because a lot of the time you've got a lot of low drops, so you've got a lot of tokens, and if you can help and you can allow those tokens to trade up and put some pressure on later in the game, you know, turns 4, 5, and 6, I think that you get an insane value from that, or even defensively, just having a 1/1 become a 3-powered creature is huge. Vampire Zeal and Skullduggery are some very neat combat tricks, which just cause your opponent just that little bit of hesitation when they're attacking. Skullduggery is very, very, I feel like it's a bit safer, you know, allows you for some nice trades, whereas Vampire Zeal +2 and First Strike on a Vampire. Some people said this was a little bit too cute. I think just for 1 white to give a +2/+2 is pretty solid. It's effectively what you're getting from Skullduggery anyway, and if you can get that bonus of First Strike, that just seems like absolutely great value. You get some pretty handy removal if you're playing black-white. You know, you get Pious Interdiction, you get Ixalan's Binding. There's some very solid enchantments. You get access to things like Vanquish the Weak, which I love, and you obviously walk the plank, even though it doesn't hit Merfolk. 2 mana unconditional or non-Merfolk removal seems very, very solid, and that's been a huge card for me. Same with Contract Killing. You know, it's hard to kind of assess Contract Killing sometimes because it is a 5 mana sorcery that kills something, but the fact that it replenishes itself is really like a 3 mana sorcery spell that kills anything, so it's like Walk the Plank for 1 more, which when you look at it like that, I think that's pretty solid. Queen's Commission is a great way to get some, vampire tokens onto the battlefield. Same with Court of the Feast, but I kind of like Queen's Commission a little bit more. For some reason, I just feel like 3 for 2 is sometimes better than 4 for 3. I think Bishop of the Bloodstained is a very interesting creature as well. If you can build up a board or you're unable to get through for damage, the ability to drain your opponent with that is very annoying, and your opponent's probably not going to have a way to counter that creature or stop that creature from entering to get the trigger off, which is obviously very annoying for them. I think it's worth probably touching on Duskborn Sky Marcher as well. You don't have a lot of mana sinks in black-white, so I think a 1/1 flyer that's able to give, you know, +1/+1 to an attacking vampire is very important. And I'll probably just touch on Anointed Deacon as well, because this card is absolutely nuts. 5 mana 3/3 that gives something +2/+0 is just, like I said, it's nuts. It's insane value. You get so much of just a bonus either on your natural linkers, like the Bishop, for example, or even just some of your flyers that you have. Just being able to pump them up just forces a really awkward combat interaction for our opponent. So like we mentioned, the deck definitely is a aggro deck or a mid-range deck that has that little bit of grindy aspect to it. So we do need to be wary of decks that are either going to ramp into big threats to just outvalue our whole board, or cards like Fiery Cannonade that can do a lot of damage to token strategies and strategies that have a lot of low toughness creatures, which vampires sometimes do have. Cannonade, like I said, it's probably the card that is most important to touch on in terms of weaknesses of the deck, unless you do get some really solid pirate picks, you know, some freebooters, for example, in there, and maybe select a Kinjali Sunwing or some Aerosaurs. You are going to be very vulnerable to a card like that, just because it's either going to clear the board or it's going to weaken a lot of your creatures after combat, and that's often enough time to finish them off. But at the end of the day, the Black-White Vampire deck is a very fun deck to play. I've had a lot of fun games where opponents just kind of, I can imagine them, I can't obviously see, but I'm playing online, but I can imagine them just shaking their head that, you know, it's another threat, turn after turn, the power just builds up on the board, and if they don't have the removal for it, they are really in a position where they will just get overrun if they can't restabilize the board and kind of get back some control on their side. But that's going to be it for the first of our CreaYTors challenge videos. So that's going to be black-white Ixalan drafting. We obviously had a bit of a vampire focus in today's video, but I thought that was the deck that was most important to touch on, and hopefully you've all learned something today, and best of luck when you're drafting Ixalan. Good luck everyone else. Can't wait to watch all the videos. I've been Coops. This is the whole box and dice. All the usual socials. Hit the thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're new. Peace out.